little brace on. So I'm going to, it's cooler weather now. It's coming in autumn, and I'm in the garden. I just took some things to the dump, some bed frames and things like that. It's free to dump them. But yeah, mulch you have to actually pay for. I've got one load of things to go. It's some, you know, those palm body parts. What are they called? Not body parts. Yeah, the body parts that I keep. It's actually the trunks. But this is all, yeah, this is all like the tree parts that I've got here. Just try to turn this around a little bit. How's that? Yeah, and so I'm just sitting down chopping, and this is what I'm doing. So you can see it's all empty. I won't be using any of this, but I'm using just scissors. And that can get folded up. So these bits usually go in the bin. Got a load of these just have a sit. Oh, it's nice to sit down. Yeah, so it's a lot. There's a lot of building and everything going on as well. And so this is what I do. I just chop into pieces. And this will be good mulch for the garden. So I do get mulch, but if I can make it, this goes a long way, especially palm fronds. They tend to break down slowly, and it makes a really good compost for the gardens. The worms seem to love it. I don't know what it is about palm frond leaves, but they seem to really want it. And they can easily break it down, I think, which is lovely, along with my compost that I throw out. And I'm making some lovely banana and tea, black tea for fertilizer. So I've got that on the brew, and probably see how that's going a little bit later today. So yeah, this is going to take me a while. People say, why are you doing that? Because I have an organic garden. So if you look at some of my other bits and pieces, and yes, I have not got back to my trip around Australia, so I'll have to get to that. It's just with everything going on, haven't been able to get back. And with the vertigo, you know, I've just basically got that under control. And now, you know, autumn, winter, spring, I will be gardening. So summertime, I usually don't do a lot of gardening, and I usually stay indoors. Best time for me. Yeah, so mix the green and the brown. It's a really good mixture. Nitrogen and carbon. And I'll just break down lovely and feed the ground all the nutrition it needs, really. Sometimes they're a bit hard when they're green, a bit harder when they're brown. I think the brown is easier actually. I don't know, probably because it's still living and it's got some, still using a bit of energy there. So that's all you have to do, you know, if you've got some greenery in your garden, just take the time, chop it up. If you've got a mulcher, you can mulch, but I do find that with the palm fronds, they do tend to turn into rope in the machines, and so cutting is probably the best option. It's quite relaxing too. You can get some meditation done while you're doing this. And yeah, we could all do with a little time to think about things. Plus, you know, it gives me time to think about what's next on my agenda. You know, what am I planning next? Yeah, there's a bit of breeze here. There's a fair bit of building going, so I have to keep, you know, the house closed up. It'll be great when it's all finished. There's dust and dirt everywhere, and I don't know how many more years it's going to go on for. It feels like forever. Woo. So yeah, this is what it looks like here. You can see that. Oh, beautiful. So I'm in the middle of a, well, not the middle. I'm doing a 3-day fast, and I'm just wanting to clear my body out, and I'm not sure if it's good for me. But so far I've gone, I'm on to my 2nd day, so yesterday was my 1st day, and today's the 2nd day, so I'm not going to push myself. I have been doing a fair bit this morning with loading up the van with the bed frames, taking them away. And I'm just doing this. This isn't really exerting much energy. Tomorrow I probably won't be able to exert much energy at all. That's if I can stick it out. I might get to tonight and not be able to go any further. I don't know. Apparently 3 days is the magic number. And it's supposed to clear the body of any unwanted things in there. So anyway, I'm going to see how that goes. I haven't done a 3-day fast since back in the day at school when you did those fasting for famine, you know, and sort of raise money for, you know, countries that were doing that hard. And it's been a long time since I've done a 3-day. I've done 1 day. I don't know if I've done 2 days, have I? But yeah, I'm finding it not too bad at the moment. I'm drinking water, just sipping on water during the day, hot water mainly. Yesterday I put some ice cubes in for lemon juice and things like that in the freezer. So I did lick my fingers and get a little lemon juice, which probably you're not supposed to do because that's sugar, isn't it? A little bit of sugar. But yeah, I didn't mind. It was just something that happened. So yeah, I'll let you know how I go with that and how my body feels. And then I've got a doctor's appointment, and I'll just see the doctor and just get the, you know, blood pressure done and all those things. My B12 is low. I'm not going completely off. I'm actually still taking my vitamins and minerals and vitamin C and iron, so still taking a few of my tablets. Doesn't make me sick. The order in which I take them is good, and just gives me a little bit of something, even though, you know, I'm sure you're supposed to fully fast. Fully sick, mate. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing. A little bit of work today, so I'm just going to do this. I'll alternate between sitting and standing, I've got a load of fruit on the trees, and that'll be really lovely. So as soon as I come off fast, I'll be having some fruits, bananas, some lovely vegetable soups, and that's what I'll come off the fast with. Nothing stodgy or thick, just some lovely lovely sugars and some maybe I shouldn't have the sugars, I don't know, I'll have to look it up. I can't remember. I knew what I was supposed to do, and then I got busy and I forgot what I was supposed to be doing. Anyone know what I'm supposed to be doing? Hi, I can see there's some people there. How are you today? I'm far away, so I can't see what you're saying. I chopped it all up. Yeah, the neighbours, you can probably hear that. I don't know if you can, but the neighbours are doing some chopping, and they're building houses around me as we speak. So yeah, a lot of dust, dirt, and stuff like that. But yeah, this will take me a while. Let's get up and have a look. Hey, I forgot glasses. Hey, how you going? Is it Cheyenne? Jaylene, Nick, how are you going? Yeah, there's some big buds. Funny. Yeah, there could be. Who knows? Yeah, so we're just chopping away here, and there's some smaller ones, which these ones will be a lot easier. They're just the tiny ones, and yeah, I don't mind chopping them. They're a lot easier. So, whew. And they do break down a lot easier, the smaller ones. But I've done a real lot of culling in the garden of my front mango tree. I'm doing a bit more chopping, and I might put you on live next time, because I missed that. I only did a chop on Facebook, same name, Facebook, Gardening Barefoot Tina, and so did a little video on there. They might have already taken it down, you know, with all the changes on there. But yeah, that mango tree, so a lot of chopping down with my chainsaw. So yeah, I'm a little chainsaw girl with my little girl tools, and I get out there and do girl chopping. Although some people wouldn't think so. I've been doing it all my life, so I basically can tell what I'm doing. I wouldn't recommend it to people who have never used a chainsaw or done any chopping. You really need to start with people who know what they're doing. Like my dad, my stepdad, he or Clayton's dad I call him, he taught me how to do, you know, a lot of things around the yard, and my mum, you know, they're very active in the garden, and I learnt a lot from them, how to deal with things. And of course family, you know, my brother and his wife, we've always been doing, you know, working bees and things like that around the garden. So, you know, you just learn by doing. You make mistakes sometimes, but you keep going, and you either love it or you hate it. And I kind of love it. I think it's an addiction. Probably should seek therapy, but I think this is my therapy. You know, I've had a lot of things go on in my life, and you know, this is the calm. This is where I feel calm. I get restored. My energy gets boosted. I'm touching, well, I'm normally touching the ground with my feet, but today it's cold, and I'm definitely not going to let my feet get on the ground. A bit of wind, which is nice. And this is going to probably take me Yeah, I've been doing a bit of swimming lately. I'll probably swim through winter. It gets quite cool here. Today I think it's about 20 degrees. That's not too bad. That's Celsius. So, I don't know, what's that Fahrenheit? Something there. So, anyway, thinking about how we make thoughts in our minds. You know, I've been thinking a lot about how to, getting all this done, and it starts with a thought in the brain. You know, we have these thoughts and like, can I do it? Do I want to do it? Will I do it? There's all these thoughts, and then you either decide yes or no, I will or won't do it. And same with negative thoughts. You know, we think these irrational thoughts in our mind. That's where it starts. And if we can stop them, when we're thinking them, oh, this is bad, or that's not good, or why is he doing it? I know people are like, oh, I wonder what he's up to, what he's doing. And it's really, you may as well not waste your time thinking about that and just get on with what you're doing, because usually, the worst things that happen in our lives are in our heads, in our minds. We make things up. We're like, oh, what if this happened? What if that happened? And, it's wasted thoughts, wasted energy. You may as well concentrate on what can I do now? What can I do? And try not to think of those things where you get stuck in procrastination or drama. That's unnecessary, because we tend to think, we've all done it, we've all been there, where it's like, oh my God, he's running late, or, oh, what's she thinking of me, or something like that. And really the truth is, you have to just decide that, hey, it's not my business what anyone's thinking of me, and I can't change what someone's doing when they're not with me. So just concentrate on what you're doing, because, if you're going to trust anybody, the best person in life to trust is yourself. Because as long as you're doing the right thing, or doing what you think is considered, right and good for you, then that's all you need to be worrying about. Because you can't, no matter what you do, and it doesn't matter how long you've known a person, you can know someone all your life, you still don't know what they're thinking. You'll never know what's in their head. You can't, change them. They are what they are. We are what we are. We're probably a pain. We're probably a pain to other people sometimes. Like, oh my God, can we be annoying enough? Well, stop thinking about paybacks and retribution and they did this to me, so I'm going to do that. No, it's not worth it. Just be nice, be kind. If you feel hurt, speak about it. Say, this is, I don't feel good about that. And that's the way you get over things. Sometimes when people do things, they do things different. We all do things differently, and it's sometimes just bringing their attention to how different they are. They'll realise, oh yeah, there's a better way of doing this, or there's a better way of doing that. But yeah, really, if you have suspicions or anything like that about your partners or anything like that, the best thing to do is, cut on the farm, get creative at home. Pay some attention to your partner when they come home. Where have you been? What have you been doing? They need a bit of autonomy. They need a bit of space and time to do things, and we all need that. But yeah, control is not a good thing to have, in your life. It's something that starts in our mind. We start those stories, those negative thoughts, and that's what I mean. The most worst times in our lives are really just in our heads half the time, and if we can act on those, try to get in touch with our sixth senses. So if you suspect something, get proof and then act on it. Don't just stay, saying, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that because this is happening. decide what you're going to do, make plans, and, you know, celebrate your own decisions when you've done it. Yeah, I live with some funny thoughts at times, you know, especially when you're stuck in traffic. Oh my gosh, when you're stuck in traffic and the person in front of you is doing stupid things, and you just think, oh my, you know, you feel like jumping out of the car, and, you know, you just got to be patient. I always think, well, that I'm going to be that person one day, an old frail person that doesn't know where they're going, and I always try to think of the scenario. I remember this time, this guy, he was on a property and he cut his leg really badly, like nearly off, and he drove himself to the hospital, and all the way down the highway he had the lights flashing in his car because he wanted people to move out of the way so he could get to the hospital really quick. And you know, people were staying in front of him just deliberately and slowing down, and he was like getting really frustrated. He did get to the hospital and he did live. But I remember the story being on the news, and I remember thinking, yeah, that's, you know, you never know why that car is behind you trying to get past. And I always think of the little old lady, you know, that went to see her husband at the hospital. He had a heart attack, and she decided that she couldn't stand being away from him, and so she got in the car and she drove the car for the very first time in like 70 years. She'd never driven because he drove her everywhere, and she really just wanted to go, and so she got in the car. She knew the basics, how to start it and get going, but on the road she was really very slow, and she, you know, wasn't indicating right and everything, but the people behind her were getting really angry because she was staying so slow. And I think we feel like our lives are so important that we have to get somewhere really quickly, don't we? Like, we hurry up, you know, but we don't know their situation. And she did get to the hospital, and it was a sad time. I think she didn't go home. She didn't go home until he passed away. And I think that drive to the hospital, it affects me, you know, it makes me a bit sad because we could all be there one day. Who knows? And yeah, we just have to be a bit more patient about what's going on around us. We don't have to think, you know, oh, I'm just going to slow down because this person wants to get round or anything. You know, be courteous on the road, give way, let people through. You know, if someone's a bit slow, you know, sing a song, be patient. I know it's annoying, it's irritable. Oh, don't worry. I've had my fair share of swear words at people, but then I've got to bring it back to reality. What's this doing to me? You know, what is this creating in me? It's really creating a stress that I don't need. So just relax and let this person do whatever it is. Back off and let them get through. It's all the thoughts in our mind. You know, our thoughts create that. You know, it's like, oh, we're going to be late. Well, what if you are late? How about you leave, you know, 10 minutes earlier so that when you do meet I was going to say nut jobs, but when you meet the people who may be in a stressful situation, or you don't know what they're, you know, what's happening in their life, when you come across that, you've given yourself a bit of time to, make way for people who obviously are in a hurry for some reason. And who are we to be the judge of whether that reason is a good reason or a bad reason to be slowing or speeding up the whole road? We don't know. And, you know, it's not our problem if they get caught for speeding or, you know, or fined because they're driving without a license. That's not our problem. But we can be careful and courteous and try to help other people, you know, even in that stupid situation where you think, oh my God, this person is driving me crazy. I'm just going to die today. This is not how I want to live. That's, you know, that's something we got to just, stop doing. Negative thoughts, you know, and having thoughts about people like jealousy and hurtful thoughts because you can't get what you want, you know. Getting what you want is a big thing, isn't it? Like, there might be a reason, you know, they say there's a reason for everything. And so, yeah, if you can't get what you want, maybe there's a reason. Like, say you're going slow on that highway and you're just slowing and you're going down and you're just relaxing into it and just breathing calmly, and all of a sudden you realize, geez, if I was like 2 minutes earlier, I would have been on that big pile up on the highway where that truck flipped and, you know, killed those people. If I was going a little bit faster and that woman who was on her way to the hospital wasn't in front of me, that could have been me. Yeah, it wasn't a lady who couldn't drive. But yeah, anyway, let's be kind today. Let's have kind thoughts. When you get a negative thought, just say, hey, no, not doing you today. I'm going to do positivity and relax down into a lovely calm frame of mind. I mean, if you've got a lot of energy, you know, and you want to get rid of it, dance or sing or just do something where you can get rid of, like, cut some leaves in the garden if you're a gardener. I probably won't get through this big pile. I'll just do enough. I'm nearly finished where I want the mulch to be. So I probably won't mulch all this. Some of this will be getting taken to the green waste and they can use it for mulch. They'll put it through the big machines and chop it up, and then I'll get it back because I go there to get my mulch for the garden beds. So I haven't been for a while. It's been raining on and off and I don't want to get wet mulch. It's very heavy. Yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna, geez, it's tricky. I'm gonna sign off and let you guys enjoy the day. And don't forget, try to have kind thoughts, you know, get those thoughts in your mind and it's like, okay, let's change that thought. Yeah, we have the ability to change the thought. We can think negative thoughts or we can think kind thoughts. And when we get that first negative thought, you know, we can talk to ourselves and say, hey, that wasn't nice. Why am I like that? Why am I like that? How can I change that? You know, I don't have to be like this. That's nasty, you know. I don't like people treating me like that. But then some people do. They like the banter of the argument, don't they? Or they like they're so used to having an argument with someone, you know, showing negativity or nastiness. It's just part of their life. But you can change it no matter how long you've been doing it. That's something you have to do all the time. And some people say, oh, they're only joking. And it's just like, are they? I'm not joking. But anyway, let's do this. Building. There's all this building going on around me. I've got nearly a full one now. And yeah, just sitting here, chopping away. I usually have music. I'll probably go and get my music and put something on and have a little listen to it while I'm doing this. A little Atelion. Yeah, so that's it. That's another one. Time for a break. Time for a cup of tea. So I've only done about, how many? 6. I know, 8. So yeah, it takes a while. But I've nearly got a full one. And then it goes on to the garden over here. Take you over. Let's have a look. How do I turn you around? I know there's like a thing here, isn't there? Oh, this one. So as you can see, I might just take this. And this is where it's all going in my banana patch here. So I've been putting it down. You can see it's green and brown. And here are my beautiful bananas. They're Ducassi. And this one here is a miniature dwarf Cavendish. And this is the lemongrass I'm getting rid of. It's really hard to get rid of, but I'll get the hedger out. And I want it to be in pots, because pots I can manage easier and I can get the roots off. And then there, yeah, that's aloe vera, which I'll put around the yard. And then I'm getting rid of all that heliconia that's in my greenhouse, because that's, I know, yeah, some of it's in my greenhouse, but that's turmeric again. So I don't want this heliconia being in there. I want just the turmeric. And so this is all I do. Oh yeah, and this is more, I think that's gangling, that one there. And this is lemongrass. So I do have a little bit of lemongrass in pots, because I love to make curries. So just tip it upside down, grab it by the leg. Yeah, all the building going around. And then just, you know, drag it all around. Yeah, so I'm getting it done. You can see under the tree, slowly putting all the mulch here. This is my water. I save water. I have it in these containers that I'm not using, so that when it's drier, I can just scoop it out onto the trees. It's a great way. I mean, I have got the tanks, but yeah, if I just put it where I need it the most. Right, and back to back here. So all those things that I had here, they're all going. Drag them up and drag them out. And so this area is looking so beautiful now. There is something happening here with my greenhouse, with all my, this is dragon fruit. And I've put all the pots here. Remember there was here, don't know if you remember, but there was all those garden beds. Well, my nursery has gone, and the nursery is all on the ground here. So I'll be selling and also, you know, letting go of some of that. And then here will be these beautiful camellias, which I've got ready here. Oh, look, this is the ginger. This is shampoo. So you can squeeze it and the shampoo comes out. You can probably see the shampoo. See that? You can squeeze it and wash your hair with it. Wash your hands. It's very florally, very sweet. Just beautiful. So I've got some of that in the pots. This is heliconia here. This is where I've been thinning it out. As you can see, I haven't really got much more done, because the actual rope is still hanging in the tree where I left it, because it's been raining ever since. And my bees, just to show you quickly, my bees, they out today. Hey, how are you, bees? Yeah, I'm trying to swing this beehive around, but you can only move it a little bit at a time. And and this is the cacao tree. You can see all the beautiful flowers on the cacao. It's really lovely little spot here. Just get some morning sun, and it's really lovely having the cacao tree here. I've got the fence that needs fixing. Got to get the drill out and some nails. But yeah, there's the little beehive, and it will eventually go back there. I was thinking about bringing it forward, but I think it might have too much sun, so I'll put it back behind there, and then if I want to induct, I can put the other one there to induct it, which I probably will. So yeah, and she's still down. My lady's still down. I'm going to put her in the ground up to her knees. Poor old thing, she's just lying there. Yeah, she pulled me down and I broke 3 ribs on the fish pond, actually. And yeah, that was a pain. Hello. Hey, Milky. Hey, Milky, I see you. I see you. Where's Luna? There's Luna. Hey, Luna. What you doing? Hey, what you doing, cheekies? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so just so I quickly show you that. And it's starting to get good up the back there, which is crazy. Show you here. This is another project. So this is where I used to do potting, and I've got the ironing boards, and they make really good potting tables because you can lift them up to whatever height or down. And I've got lots of bits and pieces that I have potted. This is behind the water tanks, and it's a lovely little area, but it needs a once over. It's where I just chuck a whole heap of junk. Everyone's got a junk place, haven't they? Well, this is it. This is my junk place. And also some things that I've been, you know, planting. I've got aloe vera and agave there. And then 1,000,001 pots. And yeah, and so my orchids there. They're pretty, aren't they? Very tropical. And my hippeastrums, which are looking good. They're starting to look really well. And then some, yeah, more vanilla bean. I've had to just save it from there. But yeah, it's all looking good. And of course, this big pile of stuff, which I'd really like to get something done today. I don't want to overdo it because I'm fasting. But I really would like to get something done with this. Get at least half of that for mulch, and the other half is going to be taken away. And then of course over here where my beautiful sweet potatoes are, which I've collected quite a few already, it's overtaken my path. There's a path there that goes all the way to the garden, and the strawberries are lush, and these beautiful little flowers of the sweet potatoes, aren't they so sweet? And that over there, that's the one that I've been harvesting from. This one I haven't harvested yet, but I'll get stuck into this. I won't be doing it for another week because the mango tree, which is in that corner, is going to be taken down, and that'll be a job for the beautiful chainsaw. That beautiful chainsaw. So this is about how big they grow. They only grow to be about 6 foot to 8 foot tall, the banana trees, and they're really lovely. Just beautiful. Anyway, all right, well, I'm going to see you, love you and leave you. And I hope you've had a lovely time watching me do nothing. Oh, not exactly nothing, but yeah, doing the whole choppy thing. And hopefully I'll get a bit more done and out of the way so that I can get rid of this pile. It looks a bit of a mess. And I think that'll be my job for today, and then I'll be resting, because you don't want to overexert yourself when you're doing fasting, but you do want to drink lots of water, you know, just sipping throughout the day. And I'll have to have another look about what I'm supposed to be doing. But I think you're supposed to not exert yourself or do any, you know, don't run. Don't run. Don't do anything crazy. And yeah. All right. Ciao for now, everybody. Peace on earth, and take it easy. Bye.